and Onboard Lifestyle. Over the past few weeks, the crew has started a new, long overdue, upgrade to Basics Cockpit Galley. We formulated a plan, mocked it to scale in place, then started construction on some of the more complicated components of the project.
I'm ballast now?
Let's just jump right into our story as this fascinating project continues to evolve.
So while I have all my tools out, let's work on this panel for a second. You know, when we laminated this up, we kept it as straight as we can. It goes against this exterior wall of the boat here, and this wall has a little bit of irregularity to it. Not much. You know, you can sight down it, not see it, but when you put a straight edge, you can see it. So let's scribe this in real quick. I will hold this up, and you mark it out.
Look at this.
You like it?
So far.
Put it on the mark first. Let's just look at it. So you see that gap?
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Just,
Teal.
it hits either side. Just knock that corner back. Yeah, exactly. Hold. You gotta hold the pencil flat on the wall.
I did.
No, flatter on the wall. Like that. Yeah, exactly. No, it's not on the wall. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, if you did this right, it should be right on. I'd say that's pretty dang close. With our panel now the correct shape, let's start concentrating on the buildup. This will be our face frame that wraps around. I'm going to stack two pieces of quarter round, create a half round, top and bottom, and then a filler piece. This will be a nice chunky profile that'll blend right into the hull, and as the water comes down, capture it nicely and divert it this way. First piece we'll do is lay out this face frame and wrap our new panel. But before I do that, let's do as much sanding as we can. Let's get this a little bit smoother. Well, we have come a long way on this. It's about 90% smooth. There's still that 10%. You could see that 1708 biax has a pretty coarse surface to it. I don't want to sand all that out. It's just too much sanding. We still have quite a bit of work to do on this panel. So as I'm laminating the face frames on, I'll move some epoxy into these little areas, some thickened epoxy, and smooth this out at the same time. And over the course of getting this constructed, that will be smoothed. Okay, let's start working on this face frame. This is where our face frame. It's going to come out 5 inches. We'll put the outside corner on and then take it off this way, down the run of this panel. This run right here is the most difficult, because it changes elevation as it travels across this. So let's cut this face frame to length, lay out this elevation, and laminate the face frame to the panel. Okay, we'll line up our face frame, flush it out on one side, and cut it to length. Everything's laid in the right orientation. Just make sure I don't confuse everything. Okay, let's start transferring some information from here to here now. Starting with this measurement here. And let's burn 10 inches on this. Looks like 9/16. And this side goes to 0. Since my piece is a foot longer than my straight edge, you see the mark on it right there?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to go to both marks and just put a center mark on here. Looks good. Now I can draw it out. Yep. I have laid out both sides of the panel as it travels across the face frame, and I have taken the time to scuff up the surface. And now I need to add a little bit of blocking just to hold everything together while we epoxy this on. And this is what it's going to look like during lamination. These are all just clamped to either side. We'll put a nice bead of thickened epoxy underneath this and let it fire off. But that's where she'll sit. I'm going to put a bead right down the center. I don't want too much squeeze out. Otherwise it'll just laminate my spacers to our project. That looks good. Let's get this in place.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes.
Yeah, it looks good.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone.
Well, it's been a couple hours now. Plenty of time for this to set up. Let's break all the clamps off and make sure everything is curing nice and straight. Hey, it's looking pretty good. Everything is laying out just like it was supposed to. I'm happy with that grade that's hidden inside there, and it is permanently laminated on. We are to the point where I need to start making a little more difficult cut. We're going to take this PVC dimensional stock and I'm going to do a tapered cut, a 7-foot taper from 5/8 inch to 0. It's going to be difficult with my dull circular saw blade, so I'm going to go run and grab a new blade. And I do need one extra piece for this as well. So that's good. I'll pick those up, come back to this. But while I'm at it, I want to start thinking about this cook station. I want to get these opened up and kind of get some hard measurements off these. We've got all these projects that we're bouncing around on. We've got the riser, the shelf, the cook station, and the doors. Okay, so let me go grab Lynn. I know she's excited to open these and get up. Oh.
I'm ready.
So I want to pick up all of the components for this as well.
Oh my gosh, this is my presents.
So I want to make sure I have all the bits and pieces for that, and I'm going to lay those out next. I hope they're what you like.
Come on, open it up. I think this is the induction. This is electric.
Okay. You got it?
Yeah. Wow. So shiny.
There you go. Better be. Okay. There's your induction. Okay. And there's your propane.
Wow.
Okay, we chose just a nice standard sizes. You know, they're not the same brand, they're just generic cooktops. And we did that for a reason, so we could replace them easy. It's very inexpensive to buy each individual piece. And if you look at the footprint of these, you know, I stacked these together just here. It's 24 by 20. We look at our existing cooktop here. It's almost 24. It's just going to be a few inches deeper. So it's going to take up the same footprint here, but give us twice the burners. We've already looked at our shelf. It doesn't encroach at all. It's going to be a few inches away back here. So these should work out pretty slick. But what I'm interested in right now is flipping these over and seeing what's underneath and how I'm going to mount these. I can see there's already a gasket on here. I'll probably, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet. But I can see what the lip is and how I'm going to do the buildup. And that's what I'm interested in right now. And same with this one. Yeah, this should be pretty easy. Okay, let's get some hard measurements. I also have to pay attention to the inlet here and the power supplies. And everything looks fairly easy so far. I have sketched this out. We're going to be raising the deck, you know, somewhat like this. It looks like this is going to work. Got some preliminary measurements just so I can get my materials list. So let's get out of here. I'll go pick up a new blade and the rest of these bits and pieces so we can get back here and get to work.
Well, the weather kind of changed on us. We knew it was going to happen, but I did not think it was going to happen this fast. So I had to pull everything in, and Teal is now going to pivot and do some maintenance inside and just kind of cleaning up his saws and making sure that everything is looking good. But I guess this is just the season in Texas.
Well, there is one bright ray of sunshine, I guess.
Where?
I know. Hey, the rain is so heavy that we were able to test our new cockpit drain. And it seems to be functioning.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's 90% better. So I'm happy with that. But hey, you gotta be happy with this. A new blade, finally.
After all these years.
Yes.
You really kind of milked that other blade.
Hey, I'm
To
still
death.
saving this. I could get a couple more years out of this. If I have to cut some old nappy 2x4s, I'll do it.
No, I think it's time to retire this thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we'll get this, give this saw some love. And, hey, that's not that bad. Huh?
Yeah,
I'm
who
going
cares
with
about that? As long as the blade is...
I went with a much
Clean.
finer tooth also. We got some long runs to do. And most everything we do is all a little bit more fine cuts anyway, so this should be nice. It already feels better. Wow. As soon as this rain stops, we'll get back to the project. But, oops. Looks like we'll have passing thunderstorms today. We'll work in between them and try to get something done. But in the meantime, we just kind of do what we do. And believe it or not, it's an hour later. Everything's drying out. Cockpit's been dried out. And I have my projects all lined up. Okay, with the platform where it needs to be, let's get this shelf drain system where it needs to be. And what I want to concentrate on are these next couple pieces. Basically, we've done the A piece with the deck. Today, I'm going to cut the B and C and then put these quarter rounds on it probably first thing tomorrow morning. But we need to get these cut first, laminated in place. And I've got all my material lined up. It's all here. First thing I want to do is cut this piece to a more manageable size. Still just burns right through it. Oh well, we'll clean it up. Okay, well, still cleans up nice. Got a little bit of that paint from the blade on there, but that doesn't matter, this is all being covered. But it did cut a nice crisp line, so I can't complain. Okay, we're gonna cut piece B now. And I'm gonna have to mark this out because it is an irregular shape. Hopefully we don't burn our way all the way through this entire run. Okay, I guess we'll see. Well, the new blade didn't make it any better. I'll just get about 2-3 inches, it gums it up, and stops the blade. I can chisel it out, let it cool off, go another 2-3 inches. This took me actually about 10 minutes to do this cut. I think I need to get a little more horsepower. Even though this piece looks a little jagged, I mean, all this just kind of flakes off relatively easy. Look at this. This is one I just cleaned up. Then I just touch sanded it to make it a little more smooth. Now we'll test fit this and see how close we got. I would say that looks pretty dang good. Let's mark it out and cut its length. Okay, with piece B done, I went and cut piece C at the same time. Now that I have all the tools out and I'm making the mess, might as well get it done. So here it is. It's just a little sliver. It actually goes on the back side here and fits right in there. So this one actually will be tapering off to 0 right. I'll cut this off and just taper it with epoxy the rest of the way. But that piece is done as well. Both these pieces actually return here with an outside corner here. So let's start fitting this one in. But that's going to take me a few minutes, so I might as well epoxy this first piece on so this starts to cure while I'm working on this kind of interesting compound cut. It's a very hot day, so I'm going to spread this out, give me a little more working time, keep that volume down. I'm going to try to get this down as quick as I can, get it in place. I'll do the fillets later after it's all constructed. Kind of working at a fast pace here. I can feel the epoxy already starting to heat up a little. It's 90 plus degrees out here. Humidity has dropped into the mid 70s. Just trying to get a nice thin layer on here. I don't need a lot. This will all be wrapped in glass cloth. I'm just trying to tack all the pieces together at this point without adding a lot of weight to it. Just filling the gap between them since I had a little left over. Keeps me from using epoxy when I'm laminating on the quarter round. I try not to waste any epoxy. This is at 1708, and once in a while you'll get a strand that is missing or askew. So by me skimming just this little touch here, it'll save me from burying all this out later. Okay, with B laminated on, let's work on this return for A. This is the A piece, and it returns into the wall here. But this wall is leaning back, so let's calculate that angle. I want the shelf to be parallel with this deck. There is a little bit of a pitch on this, so water sheds this direction, and we'll match the shelf to this. That way, as water comes down, it hits the shelf, it'll actually run to this far corner and then down. I think that'll give it a clearer path if I have anything on the shelf. It'll run it past it. Okay, well that's the idea at least. And visually, it'll look symmetrical because this will be parallel. Okay, I'm gonna look at the location of the bubble on my torpedo and match it up here. That looks real close. Now I'm going to take my piece, calculate the length of it. Looks good right there. And then mark my intersection right there. And I've laid out the other side and make a mark through the intersection.
It is hot, it's sweaty, and the captain is not happy. He's been out here in the cockpit for the past, I don't know, hour and a half trying to fix something that just broke. Well, what happened?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been bragging how much I love this Porter Cable belt sander. Bust out the big dog. The mouse. And I just bought a dozen new belts. I've been using it all morning. And then I went to use it and it just stopped.
I told you, we jinx it every time we say how much we love something, it breaks.
Been using it for 19 years.
I know, your best friend, your buddy, good old Bryce.
Yes, thanks Bryce, this has been awesome. Okay, the good news is, it's not dead. It stopped working, but it's not dead. I have, look at this. I have run a jumper past the switch, the on-off switch. The on-off switch is the culprit. I have an audible on my continuity, and look at this. Nothing. On position, off position, nothing. The switch has failed. To turn it off and on, I'll have to plug it in and unplug it.
Until we get a replacement.
Yeah, I'll order one tonight. We'll have it in a day or two. But I want to use this right now, so this will give me a temporary fix for a day or two till we get this part. But good news, the mouse lives.
The mouse lives. But man, were you in a bad mood for a little bit?
Oh yeah, I was I love this thing.
It is. It's a good one.
Okay, I'll put it all back together and then we'll get back to work. Okay, with the correct shape now on these returns, they dive in at the right angle into the walls. I just cut 2 other small pieces that I need to make the lamination. I put a few clamps holding a scrap here to hold it in position. I wrapped it in cling wrap. And the lamination will look like this. Of course, this is an elevated deck on this side, so I had to put a system of spacers in there to get the correct height. Now, I'll just quickly scuff up all my little pieces. So we're all set. This should go real quick. Just try not to get too much epoxy on my tools here. With these clamps in place, it's hard to clean up my mess, so I'll have to be a little more cautious putting it down. That looks pretty good. Okay, first piece goes down. Now the same thing on the other side. But yeah, everything planed out nicely. It's following layout. And we'll let this fire off and do its thing.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. A special thanks goes out to our amazing patrons whose generous support drives the production of our videos. Join our crew if you can. With this next project in full swing and an excited chef looking forward to the end result, the pressure is on to stay focused and on schedule. So come back next week to see our progress. See you then!